Gunline. It's your host Lopez here from On the Gunline podcast, where we shoot the shit like we did in the past out in the field. Thank y'all for joining me here today. I got a very special guest who honestly I've never met before, but he was recommended by Sergeant J, and also he was a 13 Delta, Echo, Charlie, one of those things, but we're not going to hold that against him. You know, he helped us get the shots downrange. And thank y'all for joining us here. I hope y'all enjoyed that midweek memo with Kowalczyk and our guest that was a firefighter. Anyways, so go on and pop a squat. It's about to get hot. You're on the gun line now. Welcome to the gun line here, Mr. Frank. I'm going to destroy your last name, brother. Is it Filice? Filice?
I'm Italian. It's pronounced Filice, but I just go by Filice, yeah.
All right, cool. Well, we got Filice here on the gun line with us. And thanks for being here, man. How you doing today?
I'm great, man. Happy to be here.
Hell yeah. You look like that retirement mode has kicked in really well with the beard.
Yeah, I probably had this. My wife, she told me she'll leave me if I shave my beard. She likes it. So.
Definitely have to keep it then.
I'm glad I don't have to shave every day, you know. Well, you got to shave, but you just trim it up. Yeah.
Oh, you got to keep it maintained, right?
Yeah.
Right on. So for those of us that don't know you very well, hey, man, if you could just give us a quick brief, you know, what's your story?
So I was on Patrick's podcast, and I had been listening to yours and his, and I told him, you know, hey, I loved it, and he invited me to his, and then asked if I wanted to be on yours, and so about me, my name is Frank Filice. I'm from Downey, California. I retired 20 years in the military, 20 years and 9 days, exactly. All kinds of assignments, mostly artillery. I was a paratrooper most of my career until I broke my back. About 12 years, I broke it on my 40th jump or something like that. So 4 deployments, 1 to Iraq and invasion in 2003, and then 3 to Afghanistan. And luckily, all of them was artillery based, so I've shot 25,000 rounds in combat, and I lost the number of kills on my second one. You know, it's a lot. It's 1,000 something. I don't know. I'm guessing there, but so artillery. Yeah, I'm a FTC, but I think of myself as an artilleryman through and through. And there's endless knowledge that you can learn. You know, I was always the guy to go to smoke man and, hey, show me PK, show me directional traverse, show me SIMO, you know, and you know, pass the gunner's test and go to the hill and do as much as I can as an artilleryman, you know, because that's what I thought I was. You know, I was an artilleryman.
That's fucking awesome, man. Because I mean, the best FDC chiefs that I ever worked with, they knew that gun just as much as they knew their own fucking AFATADs.
Yeah, you're the middleman, and you know, everybody blames data's on the gun, or you know, it's on the hill or whatever. If you know if you're good, you can know by sound. Oh, they just had a misfire. You know, you can hear, you know, what's going on, and you could just explain. And it's one team. You know what I mean? It's one team, so you can't blame each other. It's a system of systems. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, man. But it's always the Hill's fault, no matter what. So, what made you join?
I just try to provide them as fast as possible.
There you go.
You know, prep the gun line even before I have a mission. Prep them how many rounds. You know what I mean? I like to make everybody fast. You know what I mean? Then that's the way to go. And then never blame anybody. Never blame anybody.
Orale. So, what made you join the Army, if you don't mind?
Yeah, I was G.I. Joe, you know, like I wanted to be a Marine, and my best friend, he joined, he went to the recruiter, he was working at the grocery stores, and, you know, California, you got to be well off to do okay, and and then you wasn't seeing going anywhere after hurting myself, and I was pretty much done playing baseball. Okay. I didn't see myself going anywhere, but you know, I always wanted to be a Marine, and my buddy joined, and talked to a recruiter, and then gave my name, and I actually ended up joining before him because he failed the damn test.
No fucking.
I joined as between my junior and senior year, you know, the summer, And so delayed entry program. So that way, after my senior year, I was rolling out after I graduated. And yeah, and you asked me, you know, they talked to me first, and they offered me, you know, to be a paratrooper, and I was like, it sounds good, and so I was already joined before I could even think about, you know, being a Marine again. So
Right.
So yeah, and the video got me too, because you know I said I wanted to do something in computers, and so they showed me the computer, you know, showed me the 8 FATAs at the time, and then they showed the howitzer going off, and I was like, that, you know, like the guy lied. He's like, you're gonna deal with computers and you know get some you know relevance in the outside world. So I was like,
Yeah.
cool, you know, and get to, you know, be combat. So
Yeah. You get to blow some
you know,
shit up and play with computers.
yeah, but you don't really get experience that's gonna lead to anything in the outside as being fire direction, unless you're working with artillery systems.
Fact. Very good fact. That's what's up, man. So you joined in what year then?
99,
Oh,
yeah, July 99.
okay, shit. Yeah, I was a late bloomer. I didn't go until 2004. I was already 26 years old. I was old as fuck. But
But what I noticed from you is you loved what you were doing, and you know it's not for everybody. And so the guys that love what they're doing make it easy. You know, they care for their soldiers, and
oh yeah.
and even though you're out, you know, you could just tell by the way you talk about it.
Oh, dude, I love
You
artillery.
grind on the fakers and the soft folks. So
Yep.
that's good. Hey, they need it.
They do, brother. I mean, I saw a decline in the fucking the soldiering as I was on my way out. I'm sure you saw it from when you came in to when you left.
You know, I heard it from the old guys when I first came in.
Right.
That, you know, things were changing, and I saw it as I went. And you know, it's crazy when you see a soldier come to the duty station, and their chief is the worst dude they ever met. That's the wrong answer, because the worst dude they should have been their drill sergeant. So that tells you right there, there's a lack in
a disconnect,
in discipline there, because we were getting guys, you know, that wanted to quit first day. You know, like, wait a minute, you got through basic training, airborne school, and you want to quit just because your chief scuffs you up on the first day because you don't know how to act a little bit. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
That's crazy.
The whole thing, I agree with. I agree with the uniform standards. You know, when I was a private, I was alcoholic because, you know, I grew up in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
Same as you. So, but I started drinking like at 14, probably, and party crew scene, and you know, I was going to Mexico every weekend, and so the Army actually calmed me down because I was broke. And
nice.
So I had to get a beer bong.
Okay.
Because of them checks, and you know, you can only write so many post-dated checks to the PX.
The PX, yep.
Your money, right? So this is old school, right? So you had to write post-dated checks that will cash on the day you get paid, and that's how you made it from paycheck to paycheck as a private.
Yeah, dude.
And donate plasma. And
dude, yes.
And go to the strip club or whatever, you know. So the life was crazy back then, but you know, I was always good because I got drunk, I bonged some beers, and I ironed my uniform and shined my boots and took it to the next day, because if not, I wasn't getting the buzz that I needed.
Right.
So I was alcoholic, but the Army kind of calmed me down because I was broke.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Well, also, you know, you were in an airborne world, which airborne land is completely different than, you know, at least from Sergeant Jay's perspective, from what I heard when I heard y'all talking. You know, it's a completely different Army compared to the rest of us legs, as y'all call us. You know, it's like your standards are even higher. You don't, you know, and you said something that I've always said as well. I heard it from someone that if you don't correct the standard, you make a new standard. You know what I'm saying? Correct.
If you let it go by, you see something, you just created a new standard. And if you're soft and you can't say something to somebody, you shouldn't have been an NCO in the first place.
fucking fact, bro. I mean, how many people got promoted just because of their time in service and because
Yeah.
they can regurgitate a fucking AR or FM but have no idea what their job is?
Yeah, and automatic promotions. That's another thing that's leading to, these guys were never meant to be leaders, you know what I mean? Or, or it's kind of rough. And I was glad to retire when I did,
I feel you.
even though I love, like if I could buy a howitzer, I'd put it right here in my backyard. And
Yeah, dude.
if I could just go rogue, get a team of guys that I like and just go fuck shit up as a mercenary, I would do that because I trust in people I know and my abilities to stay alive. But
hell yeah.
But
dude,
yeah,
about those rogue people, did you hear about those guys in Venezuela? Those SF guys that got caught up down there.
hey, Mercs like that. Hey, God bless them. I would do it as artillery, man. If a wheelbase howitzer and a small crew.
Yeah.
As long as I had some ammo drops and.
Hell yeah, dude.
I would definitely go fuck some people up.
Do some air assault missions. This shit get picked up, go to a different location.
Yeah.
Rounds down range.
Do it. And don't worry about it.
Fuck yeah, man. That's awesome. So, dude, I was listening to your podcast, and that's basically where I got a lot of my information about you. I don't know how much you want to share or don't, but
there's nothing limited that I can talk about.
Oh, okay.
Nothing limited.
Well, we'll go. We went over your FTC. So, what your deployments? You said you did 3 to Afghanistan, 1 to Iraq, right? In the initial invasion.
Yeah, I did the initial invasion, and so this leads to one of your topics about females in the military.
Oh,
check this. There's girls that can do this, right? But what I noticed is we didn't have water to do hygiene, right? So at the 2-week mark, we ran out of baby wipes, right? So, we only had enough to drink, and so hygiene was like very, very poor. And I didn't really have my first bottled water shower until 45 days.
Holy shit.
And so, bro, the nut rot and, like, it just bad. Like I had a buddy, this is a funny ass story because we ran out of butt wipes. So this dude had a Stratex pad and he took it to his nuts. And goddamn, bro, that guy was running down. I never seen somebody run so fast down the gun line, tripping over his brownies.
Yeah.
He loved the brownies, right?
Yep.
Old school brown underwear, right? So, and so he was tripping over his underwear and like balls on fire. You know what I mean? Like, but hilarious shit.
What the fuck?
That's what Stratex pad, but times were
tough, and I get it. Times were tough.
And you gotta resort to drastic measures.
I'm sure that it says
that was the wrong one.
for external use only. I'm sure it says, and not to get your dick cheese off. God damn.
Hilarious, man. Wow. Yeah, I burned that uniform, man. They were just rotten, man. They're just.
Dude, you could never get that smell off. I could just imagine. Yeah. I remember being out in the field for like 2-3 weeks. No showers, out in the heat. That smell never goes away, man. So I can just imagine 45 days. Shit.
Bad.
God damn, man. So
so Iraq was the invasion we shot against infantry. We shot against. We had an artillery on artillery fight, Delta 30 on 119er, and of course we won. But there were creeping rounds in, and we blitzed out of there. But we fucked them up first. So that was that, and then Bush said we won the war, and the shit got worse from there.
And
but in between it getting worse, we did all kinds of shit like guard the northern oil facilities, and this is crazy. There's like British descendants, so there's like white kids running around in the northern oil facilities, and you're like, wait, you're Iraqi and you're white as hell. So oil money, so they were there, British descendants, and crazy. Like I went on a QRF, like we're a little QRF team, and we're just doing a patrol. And these guys, Assyrian kids call us in there, and it's a library. And we're like, scared. Where are we going? We're going in this library. They take us under the library, and there's a full court basketball court indoors.
What
And
the
we're like,
fuck?
oh shit.
Hell yeah, hooping it up, baby.
We take off our gear and we play ball with these kids.
Yeah.
So we did that, and rebuild cities, like CA type missions, put in water, put in schools, everything you can. Ran a detention facility. Thank you. Before Abu Ghraib kind of came out, because
Yeah.
put artillerymen with 6L mag lights and the Pioneer, the pickaxe part, the wooden part of the Pioneer kit.
Right.
Artilleryman's gonna strike somebody. So there were some ass whippings in the general population because we weren't allowed to take our rifles in there because then we're getting killed. But yeah, there was some ass whippings because you don't know who they are, and they grab you and they, hey, people are getting collarbones broken, and thank God, we're artillerymen are not trained for this shit, but they just give you all these missions. And artillerymen are going to execute no matter what, and we're going to accomplish the mission. But
exactly, don't ask how it got done. Just be happy it did get done.
I was a SOG, and
oh God,
they come to me like, "Hey, Sergeant Filice, why are there screens in there?" I was like, "You put us in here with guys we don't know. They're all dangerous, as far as we know. And if they look at you wrong or something, like." You're gonna make sure you're defended, and shit's gotta happen. And so they called it D block. We were Delta Battery, and the infantry actually used it to make people talk. It's like, hey, we're gonna take you to D block, and blah blah blah, and they start rattling. This is the bad guy. That's the bad guy. And if they didn't talk, then we had the Kurds, and we're gonna give you the Kurds, and the Kurds are gonna make you disappear. It was pretty, Peshmerga. They loved us.
Dude. I love them dudes. Those guys gave zero fuck.
Crazy thing is that we were supposed to take 60% casualties. The brigade, 173rd Airborne Brigade.
Yeah.
Because 4th ID couldn't show up because Turkey wouldn't allow them to come in.
To go through. So
we jumped into the north and moved south with the Kurds, and we didn't take no casualties. They were chopping heads off and having necklaces of ears, and
God
you see the guys holding heads by their and holding RPG on the shoulder and a head in this hand, and you're passing them and you just see the fighting in the distance, and they're whipping. They could have took the whole country, man.
No shit.
They just wanted their homes that they lost 20 years prior to.
Right.
And they pushed them to the north and shot gas on them. And
yeah, we ended up.
These guys are some good people, man, and I loved working with the Kurds. I know you talked about that on one of your podcasts.
Yeah, dude.
These guys are legit, man. But they just wanted their homes back.
Exactly, dude. I love those motherfuckers, man. When we used to go up there, and what's cool is they're really westernized. So we weren't supposed to go up there, but when we went up there, man, I took my backpack and I would go on a foot patrol around the area and find a liquor store and just start filling up bottles and beer.
They're westernized. They want to give you whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
Whiskey for Pepsi, whatever. And they want to sell their daughter or their sister to you. And
yeah, dude. That's always funny,
my
right?
My sister, $1.
Yep. $1. Or a Gatorade. One of the two.
No, I'm good, bro.
For reals, dude. Shit, man. So, one thing I did connect with you a lot was on training soldiers. That's one of the things that I truly enjoyed in my time in the Army.
It's the best.
I think the best is when you get that one soldier that they can't get right, but all it is teaching them in a method that they can understand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not a smart guy, and I wasn't good in school. I just went and passed tests, and I didn't do homework, but I was smart enough to just go, and I just wanted to play sports, and so I guess I was smart, and but luckily I landed a job that was deal with math, and I found a love for math that I hated before in school.
Oh, shit.
And because of math and manual gunnery and being a paratrooper and shooting manual gunnery off the DZ was my shit. And really my first duty station, I come as a 13 Charlie, and that's battalion FTC, and all I did was dig. And really I wanted to get good at my job because I didn't want to dig anymore.
Right.
And so, you know, I learned on the toilet because when I went to the 73rd, 173rd, I got, you know, they were doing the merger. So I knew I went over there and I went to a single battery. I can only be in the gun line.
Okay.
So they stuck me on advanced party as a senior U4, ready to go to the board. They stuck me on advanced party. And they say, you ain't moving up until you learn this. You're learning on your own. Because they didn't want me. I was the 13th child. They had a guy that couldn't figure it out, and they put him in the training room and right before me. So
okay.
And I was just like, a year later, I was chiefing in Iraq.
No shit.
So I had my ex-wife sending me missions. She's a good damn fister because I taught her proper call for fire, and that's how I learned a lot of fish shit. So I can train myself. And
right.
And like I said, I learned a lot on the toilet. Education by defecation. You can't read the 640. We're not falling asleep. So if you can fall asleep on the toilet, you're a bad motherfucker. Because I can't do that. You know, my legs go to sleep or whatever.
Right.
So that's how I learned. I just memorized shit, and I got good. You know, and so like I said, a year later, I was chiefing in Iraq. So starting on advanced party to chiefing in Iraq, and
that's fucking awesome, man. That's the thing
and
about
yeah, like nobody taught me, and I didn't have a chief, and I didn't hold what I knew in.
Right.
I wanted to make everybody as good as me. So training to me, it wasn't about me being better than anybody. It was about making a team better. You know.
Exactly.
Making a team better because artillery is a team.
Yep. You're only as strong as your weakest link.
And check this.
You know your job.
Yeah, and check this is like for my guys as a FTC is like. You know, I wholeheartedly believe that you could have the greatest guns in the world and a shitty FTC, you have a shitty firing battery.
Yeah.
You know, so you could have some okay guns and a great FTC, you have a great firing battery.
Yeah.
And so when fire commands are fucked up and all this shit, it just rolls downhill. You know what I mean? It just so when it's smooth and you're doing right and you give clear fire commands, that gun is hopping and popping.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an orchestra, man. It's like
exactly
music to the ears, man.
It's like organized chaos, baby. That's how I call it, is organized chaos.
Yeah. And so beautiful. And you know, I got some guys that, you know, have, you know, passed me and that's great. And their accomplishments are better than mine because they say thanks. I had my private in Delta Battery. You know, he took a battery in the 82nd, and he texted me. He's like, "Hey, today's my change of responsibility. I'm an E7, non-promotable, and I'm taking a battery in the 82nd." And
wow.
And he said, "I owe it all to you." And
that's awesome.
That's better than my own accomplishment. You know what I mean?
But you know what? I mean, you set him up for success.
Yeah. I'm Audie Murphy. You know, I was Audie Murphy. I was distinguished undergrad in BNOC and SLC and Master Gunner course. None of that shit means anything. It's what other people done. You know.
Exactly.
So the more leaders we build and the way that rolls downhill. When I heard Sergeant Morris's podcast with the guy talking about one of my guys and how he mentored him.
Yep.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
You know, it's awesome to get sometimes, you know, you get those Facebook friends, you know, that were your Joes, and they'll hit you up like, you know, on the side, on the DM and be like, "Hey man, I just want to let you know, thank you. You know, you were a good chief, you were a great chief," and stuff like that. To me, when it comes out of nowhere, it's where I'm like, damn, I appreciate that. It hits you like right in the soul, almost gets you in the feels and shit, man.
Hey, and I wasn't soft, man. I wasn't soft on these dudes. Probably say I was the meaning, you know, I was the E5 chief, and you gotta be, I wanted to take over the battery, you know, like this is my battery as an E5 chief, and you know, so I had to be hard on my section, you know, getting promoted from E40, they're no longer your friends, you're their leader, and and you gotta let them know, you ain't playing, and but they gotta. You know, they gotta wanna. It's kind of like a father-son thing where they don't want to disappoint you. That's where you got to get to them as a subordinate. They don't want to disappoint you. They don't want to let you down.
what I realized, it took me a while because when I was an E5 chief when I went to Korea, I pinned 5 and I got my own gun. And they asked me, "You ready for it?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'm ready." But in the back of my head, I'm like, "Fuck no, I'm not." But hey, fake it till you make it, baby. And the only way to learn is by failing. A lot of motherfuckers are scared to fail. I ain't scared, baby. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna fucking hit it.
Yeah, and that's right. Failure is good as long as you're learning those lessons to fix the issues.
Exactly. Now, if you don't, as long as you don't
get down on yourself and you give up, and you're a little bitch and get out of here. Yeah.
Exactly. Especially not on the gun line, baby. We don't need that shit.
Yeah.
Now, I am glad to say I never had to hear the rear of the piece, face to piece, and all that bullshit. Thank God. I'm pretty sure in your experience that you have to say it to a couple of people.
Yeah. I've seen some firing incidents. It never happened to any of my guns or but other platoons and just bad leadership. One time in Germany, this other platoon, the second platoon, we were doing a hip shoot on the road, and I saw them and they were rear of the piece, but they had this West Point FBO. He was a distinguished honor grad, and he got to pick to go to Italy. He came even to the battery before even getting assigned. It says, as long as I get through Ranger School, I'm going to be coming here.
Wow.
Because he was top of the class or whatever. So so cocky dude, and he thought he can make artillery great better than it was. And so this guy would do some weird shit, and artillery hasn't changed wise and technology wise, but the art of artillery hasn't changed since Napoleon created this indirect fires. You know what I mean? So this guy, he registered the first piece, the base piece, and then did the GFT setting. Everything, it's they're accurate, right?
Right.
And then they decided to register the second piece. GFT setting jumped short 600 meters. Shot a check round. It was 150 meters from the bunker, the observing bunker. And they put everybody in thing. Before this, I told the corporal, because the chief had went to VNOC.
Okay.
And this corporal that used to be mine, I said, hey, he was squared away, ready to chief. I said, if you don't feel comfortable, step out of the FTC. I have no responsibility.
Right.
So this guy, he did that. The guy still told the section to go forward and do this thing. And they still blame the corporal instead of the officer. You know how it is. It's not, UCMJ is never failing the enlisted side versus the officer side. It's a good old boy system.
Yep.
And that's the hard part. There's, in my career, I noticed I probably can count 5 officers that I trust on my hand, 5 maybe total. That I believe are great artillerymen and are great people and trust NCOs, and
right.
The others, man, I can care less about them.
I don't know what it is about West Pointers, bro, that they come with this mentality like they know everything. They can't be right. I mean, they can't be wrong. And the best ones that I've seen are the ones that actually get that good relationship with their NCO, with their counterpart, because they want to learn.
The best officer I known was a West Pointer. He started off in Norwich, applied 3 times before he got into West Point. Yeah. So he went his second year after Norwich, getting his ass whooped at Norwich. He probably should have stayed at Norwich anyway. He was a triathlete. Oh, wow. Best FA officer I met, but while we were in Afghanistan, or Iraq and Afghanistan, he applied 3 times to Special Forces selection. Finally got after a 4th time, and so this guy's a never quit. Yeah. Super religious guy, but he liked to shoot guys in the face, right? Yeah. But best officer, I wish he stayed in there. He did some time in CAG, which is Delta, and he's in SF and doing that special operations stuff. But he was a West Pointer, but he and I challenge each other. He wanted to learn from me and he wanted to teach me things. And so we would, he'd be like in Afghanistan, he's like, let's read this chapter on ballistics and have a discussion about it. Okay. And, so, we would just do that with each other and really the best I've seen, and it kind of ruined me as far as FA officers after that, having that FDO.
Having
Man, I
somebody
got
that had
some
that
bad ones after that, and nobody was gonna compare to him. You know what I mean? So, but this guy, got certified to teach the platoon college level courses. So we'd be in a college level course and get a fireman, shoot it, come back and do some more college. And
oh shit,
he just really took care of soldiers. And the only one in my career that actually counseled me correctly, as an NTO, gave me quarterly counseling. The rest, I wrote my own NCR. So I was the greatest in the world because I'm writing it, because you didn't tell me what I did bad or did good, or even what you expect of me. You didn't even initial counsel me, so I don't trust you to write my NCR,
They were just to check the block.
It was the only one in my career, the only one. And I just respected him. He did everything right.
Yeah, that's what's up. Wow, that is fucking.
Luckily, I saw what a true officer is. And man, he told me he was going to be the president of the United States. I hope he is, man. He's a leader. He's a straight up leader. So,
dude, that's awesome. And he has that never quit fucking attitude, from what it sounds like. So
yeah, never quit. Nothing ever given to him either. You know what I mean? So
the ones that struggle are the ones that fucking know how hard it is to get it, so they value it more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit, that's fucking damn, dude. That's fucking awesome. I've had some good officers, and like you said, I can count on my hand how many I would actually trust. But the majority, I don't know if it's a FA thing in the FA world. Officers don't really lead as they do like in the infantry world, I would say. Where
they try, and you got to put that to rest as an NCO. You got to start when they're the LT.
Yeah.
Folks got to get in that ass and like, sir, this is my platoon, my battery. And the FTC chief's got to be telling the FDO, hey, this is my section. You're safing the data.
Yeah.
If I give you any other additional duties, then that's because I trust you to do it. But this is all you're responsible for. Don't touch my box. Don't do nothing until I tell you. I don't care what type of training you got, but you didn't get it from me. So I'm gonna train you the right way first.
Right. You sound exactly like this one chief that I had, this FTC chief. His name was Tedder. This fucking dude, he could have been a gunnery sergeant on our line, because he just had that mentality, just the way that he wasn't your typical, kind of like what you remind me of. Not your typical FTC chief. You know what I'm saying? You have more of that 13 Bravo in you.
I love the gun line. So,
yes, sir.
When I wasn't in a mission, I was out with the guns and learning everything I could.
Yeah.
I just, I finished my career as the master gunner, and I would watch these master gunners just, you don't know how to operate the circle, and you're the master gunner.
That should be the first.
Let me show you. Let me show you how it's done as an FTC. Does that make you feel bad?
Oh, fuck, dude. That's embarrassing. That's fucking embarrassing.
Does that make you feel bad? So, So, I mean, I think of myself as an artilleryman.
Oh, yeah. You're a fucking art through and through, baby. Through and through.
Yeah.
Shit. You learned every aspect, it sounds like, of the artillery world. Not just how to do it, but the why we do it,
Yeah.
So that's
and I was lucky, because I could have been doing something else. Like my deployments really gave me something where, I was in Afghanistan, the same FOB twice for 2 years. So separate deployments. I came back to the same FOB, and it's the SF FOB. They might have 6 dudes.
Yeah.
On a 12-man team, they might have 6-7 dudes. And artillery platoon, which is 2 guns, 2 119ers, and a radar. And there's some Afghani forces that they train. And there's also an OGA camp. This is Shkin, Afghanistan. I don't know if anybody knows, your listeners, but it's 7 kilometers away from Pakistan. On the other side is Waziristan. Waziristan is where all the bad guy training camps are. Okay. So you get a lot of enemy action. You get a lot of foreign fighters, Chechens, Uzbeks, Yemen, you name it. They're there to do their jihad. So there's a lot of death. If you Google it, there's Shkin, Afghanistan.
Okay.
You know, Geraldo Rivera is talking about the deadliest place in the world.
No shit.
And you know, I've lost some people there in my platoon and some SF guys, and I take it to heart because I'm the saver and taker of lives.
Yeah.
You know, my first time going to Shkin, I relieved 3-7 FA, and I'm gonna talk about this battery because they suck so bad. When I arrived, there was 2-week-old chicken sitting next to the computer.
Okay.
I told my soldiers to go put up their bags in their rooms and come back. And one of my soldiers comes back and says, like, Chief, I can't take that room. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's about 80 piss bottles and a shit bucket under the bed.
Get the fuck out of here. What?
And, you know, like, they would get a mission. They shot 8 missions the whole year, and only like a couple, you know, less than 100 rounds. We shot 10,000, and this is a short time because we didn't shoot so we got there in March. We didn't shoot till June, and from June till we left, we shot every day. But and I'm gonna tell you why. So they would break out rounds, leave them uncovered. In Afghanistan. And you know the elements are. You've been to Afghanistan. We're 2,000 meters elevation, battery elevation. So we're over a mile high. It's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy weather there.
Right.
And so they would break out missions and just leave them. Leave powder out. You go to pull a powder. Say you're shooting charge fire. You pull two powder bags.
God
and
damn.
the pellets just drop out of this. The bag turns into dust.
Wow.
And so we were inaccurate. We would go 400 long, 200 short, 300 long.
Right.
Muzzle velocity was all fucked up because of the powder was fucked up, right? We had no usable rounds. Jeez. The other platoon in Tillman got into a tick right away. They went black on ammo because they had no usable rounds. They were flying in ammo. So this battery led to one of my guys getting killed. And what was happening is the enemy was shooting rockets to our south,
right,
west, and I was briefing high-level officers, generals. Like they were seeing like what's going on because we can't shoot. We're not taking our effective fire. They would come and I was like, I would take point of origin and point of impact and take a string and swing it over, and it was right on our fob. Perfect distance.
Right.
So they got their range down, and then on June 8th, we were supposed to have 4 flights. One being our commander was changing out. He was a major already because the incoming commander failed Ranger school. So in Delta Battery, you had to be a Ranger because it's 173rd. It's mini Ranger battalion.
Right.
You do the brigade commander is a former Ranger commander. So 173rd, it is what it is. So he failed and couldn't take. And you're handpicked to be at that time Delta Battery, 319th. You're handpicked to lead that battery. Oh, and a lot of the leadership is handpicked. So, and it's a single battery for a whole brigade. So you're supporting 2 infantry battalions for the whole brigade, right? So, man, stayed in the field. Because one infantry battalion would come, train, and leave, and the other one would come. You know, we're in Germany the whole time. They go back to Italy. It is what it is. So our commander was supposed to come to each fob and, you know, do the little ceremony in front of each platoon. We had 4 platoons. And we thought it was them. We thought it was that bird, but it ended up being a green route and resupply route. And SF team was kind of switching out at the time. Okay. So the Chinook lands. One gun is hot. One gun is LZ detail. And the leadership goes out to the LZ and my smoke man. I was supposed to go. Smoke man says, "Hey, keep the guys in formation here, and let's because if the commander's here, then we're gonna bring him over, get it done, and get him the fuck out of here." Right. We're there to do business, right? Right. And so the Chinook lands, tailgate drops, guys start exiting, and the LZ gets smacked with rockets.
Oh shit.
2 guys get killed, 8 wounded, and the Chinook is down on the LZ.
God damn.
And we weren't allowed to shoot. So later that night, in retaliation, there's a known Taliban commander's house named Bachajan, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's 200 meters inside Afghanistan. So the SF team, he's a former artilleryman in Ranger Battalion, 13 Alpha, you know, the FSO for Ranger Battalion. Right. He's a team leader, calls for fire, and he doesn't think we're accurate. So he calls fire right on the edge of the corner of the building, of the house. And first round, we had already given resupplied ammo. Right. Calibrated, everything. We hit the corner of the building. And he's like, whoa, that wasn't supposed to happen. That we were just supposed to scare him. Right. I was like, hey, now you're going to see artillery. Mm-hmm. Don't call what you don't want to happen, because we're going to do this thing. So he backs us off, and we shoot. And it's, you know, bullshit, because we should have shot that building up. Yeah. So anyways, after all the medevacs and everything, A-10 comes on station. And hey, I'm gonna put the guns warm or guns cold. Just stay late on the target, and I'm gonna bring the A-10. So A-10 comes on station. Yeah. I'm listening to it, and the A-10 tells the team leader. He says, I'm gonna do a gun run. And he's like, who's clearing your fires? I clear my own fires. He does a gun run. Yeah. He says, hey, I had a weapon jam. I'm low on fuel. I'm gonna reattack and then go back. So he had a weapon jam, comes and does a reattack. Yeah. Has another jam. He says, I still had a jam, but I'm low on fuel. I only got enough to get back. Okay. Crazy shit happens. They end up killing 2. I don't know if it was us or them. The A-10, probably the A-10. He knocked down the wall. But Chechen and Uzbek, foreign fighter. Probably the guys that shot the rockets. So in retaliation, about an hour later, I get a call to the talk. Says, why did that A-10 come back with half its ammo? It's like, well, it had a weapons jam. Mm-hmm. And who cleared the fires? I said, well, I heard on the radio that he cleared the own fires. And he was, all right, thanks. Click. And hang up. Right. Months down the road, I'm telling the same story in Bagram. I'm about to go on R&R. Right, and there's a guy at the end of the table just smiling. You know, and everybody, we get up and get our trays. Hey, Sergeant. I just want to let you know I'm grounded. But that was me. But it was worth it, because I heard everything that happened to y'all, and it was worth it. But, you know, I'm paperwork now, but it was worth it. And thank you for what you do. And I was like, we hugged, and no shit. He kissed me on my cheek and everything. And dude, so, yeah.
Damn. So he took it upon himself to just go ahead and knock that shit out.
Yeah. And God bless him for it, you know. And sometimes the right action is the unpolitical action, and exactly. And it needs to happen.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it takes too fucking long to wait for a clearance.
Yeah. Crazy thing is, I went back there a year later, relieved the guys that relieved me in a different unit in 82nd, 4th Brigade 82nd, and on the year anniversary of that, you know, June 8th, I was cleaning. We had a memorial on the LZ. We named the LZ after Hernandez Kelly, LZ, the 2 guys that died. Okay. And I was cleaning it, and the SF team sergeant, the master sergeant, was like, "What are you doing?" And I explained, and he knew the situation, because we're getting attacked from these same areas. And he's like, "You know what? We need to deal with this, right?" So on June 15th, they set up a sniper operation. They weren't cleared to fire. They still went out, or they weren't cleared to go out. They still went out, and because they weren't supposed to be out there. Yeah. We planned this operation. I did some sweeping zones, cleared the area, let them infiltrate. We were late on target, so that if something happens, that we would shoot it before that anything happens. Well, guys started maneuvering on them, and the team sergeant stood up and said, "Hey, stop." And they're in the hide. They're in sniper operate. They don't know. Right. So some foreign fighters end up shooting the guy 3 times in the chest. Master Art Lily, and then the fob got renamed after Lily, Fob Lily.
Damn.
But here again, I take responsibility for that because, you know, back to 37 FA, fucking up, not letting us shoot the first time, led to guys getting killed in my platoon. And then that master sergeant almost 2 years after the fact. So if you're artilleryman still in the Army, do your damn job and do it right.
Fucking A, man.
You're a professional. There's few professions, and you need to take it serious.
Amen. Amen to that. Because honestly, man, it's a fucked up job that we're in, you know, especially when we lose our own. But it comes with the territory. You know what I'm saying? We know what we signed up for. But like you said, man, we got to do our job. Right. Clean those fucking tubes. Keep your fucking ammo where it needs to be. You know, and
clean your tubes, swab, do the thing. We my 4th deployment, we relieved our sister battalion. I'm in 1321 at that time. Mm-hmm. So 3rd of 321. Thank God they're now rockets because they're shit show. They didn't swab all year. The swab bucket had a hole and it was over there in the fucking.
What the fuck, dude?
And they shot 10,000 rounds, guy.
10,000 rounds.
They're lucky they didn't have a cook-off. They're lucky.
Fucking real.
These guys were just there. And
it's their leadership is having a disconnect there somewhere. That smoke should be fucking relieved on site.
It's pure laziness, man. When you're deploying, you need to work every day and improve every day.
Oh, yeah.
Put up ESCOs, improve your firing position, ammo racks. I mean, there's work from sundown to sunup.
Mm-hmm.
Every day. You need to leave it better than what you came. Every day. And these guys they don't take a lot of – they piss me off because that's not in any artillery unit that I've ever been in. I wouldn't allow it in the first place. Yeah, and you're right. The leadership is totally responsible, man. They're just there having a vacation? What the fuck?
They're just there to get swole. That's all. They guess just to get swole. Fuck doing their job. Fuck cleaning their gun. Fuck doing even if it gets tiring as shit, you do those fucking dry fucking runs all the goddamn time. You know, dry, fucking, and just train.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I have a ton of these stories, man, in combat because, you know, I've shot a lot of rounds and.
Well, dude, I mean, you're one of the few that actually are artillerymen that actually got to do their job out there, you know, and you sound like you were very proficient at it as well. You know, a lot of us, we didn't get to do our job. We were out there fucking either ground pounding or escorting motherfuckers from point A to point B, which, you know, in itself was fun. And it was cool because in Mosul, I got to go shoot. I got to go on patrols in the day, and then at nighttime, I would go and fire. I don't know what the fuck I was firing at, but I got to go fire, so I got to fire in country.
I mean, you know, when my 4th deployment, we got responsible for going to every firing position and make sure that people are using med, doing right. Ammo storage is correct. That it's safe. And putting in survey. So we had a team, and it was me and the 2 master gunners, and there was a couple other master gunner qualified guys that were going around. We go into every firing position, mortars, artillery, every firing position out there, and so we go there. We're going all around, and the master gunner, the 13 Bravo master gunner, gets a Red Cross message and has to go home.
Okay.
And I'm out there by myself putting in survey. It's big. You know, I take the glyphs and fuck that goddamn glyphs box and tripod.
Yeah.
You know, the Adolite and the gyro. And my rucksack. Goddamn shit was heavy. And I'm tripping over these big ass stones on LZs in Afghanistan and then twisting my ankles. But you know, they trusted me. The Mike Golf, you know, the 13 Bravo Mike Golf, he told me, he told the command, he's like, Filice has got it. Let me go on R&R. And so I went around by myself. But these are the things that I prepared myself for, you know?
Right. You were definitely.
I always thought if a chief gets hurt, can I go take his gun and shoot? Because I got to stay alive. My guys got to stay alive.
Right.
You know, so that's the level I wanted to train to, because until it's the last one standing, or you're gone, you got to be able to provide fires.
Oh yeah, I mean, we always talk shit between the gun line, between the Deltas and the Bravos, but one without the other was fucking.
I heard it all.
We couldn't do our work.
I heard it all. I heard it all, and I talk shit back. Hey, the thing I love about the end of field problems is the fight.
Oh
the
yeah.
fights. And a lot of times there was a couple sections against the FTC, and so it wasn't fair. So I would take the old school spreader and take it to a few 13 Bravos asses because it wasn't a fair fight first, So but then we scrap it up when it was fair numbers. But
right.
Yeah, a couple of them took some good swats by them spreaders, them long, net spreaders. But
how long have you been out?
I retired in August, but I took terminal leave last April, so a little about. I've been back here in Texas a little over a year now.
Oh, okay, right on. So, have you had any issues transitioning back to this life, the lifestyle yet?
The only thing I've talked about it in Patrick's podcast was I took a job with my cousin and I didn't expect it, and it was like super high end, the best flooring in the world, and they target $1 million homes, and it's some 19-inch wide and 40-foot long planks, like of wood from France, and they gave me Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas as an area, and I was spending my own money to make the money, and
right.
And if I had more time, it would have been good, but I kind of avoided. I got my degree right before retirement, but then they offered me that job, and it was nice to get to work for myself, but
right.
I didn't have the support, to do it, and so I had to start my transition over, and so I'm still doing that. Okay. And I've turned jobs down because I think I deserve something.
Right.
So I've turned a lot of jobs down because I kind of know what I want, but it's still waiting game right now.
Okay.
The waiting game.
Well, especially right now with this COVID shit, it's hard as fuck to get a job.
And I left that job right before Christmas, so it was like Christmas, nobody's hiring, and then COVID. So hell, I'm driving for DoorDash. So
I heard that part, and you're right.
So I mean, at the end, retirement and VA disability, and maybe take home is maybe $8,000. So it's okay. And then eventually I'm gonna land this good job, and so retirement in the Army is great. I mean, it's just you're set for life. My retirement pays the bills, and if whatever else is extra money.
Extra money, leisure, man. So that's awesome.
It was totally worth it, and I didn't think I was gonna be a lifer. There was both times I re-enlisted. I wanted to join the Coast Guard because I met these dudes in Wilmington, North Carolina, and they were playing volleyball till 16:30, and making the same thing I made. They were E4 and I was E4, and I was digging holes. God damn it! I was So I wanted to play volleyball till 16:30.
I feel you. But on the plus side though, now when you go to the VFW though, now when you get older and you have your little old man hat, you get to tell some cool ass fucking war stories while they get to talk about their Coast Guard playing volleyball.
Yeah, hey, so I haven't broke down and got the hat. Like I've looked at them in the VA a couple times, and
you'll get it.
The problem is I want too much, but I don't want to be that one with like. Oh, so maybe I have a couple different ones. I don't know.
True, there you go.
So.
Yeah, I got my old man hat. It's somewhere in storage right now. I just recently moved, but mine it just says Iraq, Afghanistan veteran. Then it has the National Defense Service Medal, the GWAT, and then the fucking it only has like 3 ribbons on there that I put on there. Because some people go crazy putting their whole fucking stack on there.
Yeah.
And dude, fucking just put your ERB on there next time. Fuck it.
Yeah, I know it. Bro. Some guys that they bother me. you know, they got DV plates, and you know, they park in the handicap, and they're getting out of a fucking Corvette.
Yeah.
Or they're getting out of this fucking lifted ass truck, you know, and you know, they got dip in their mouth, and they're and like, are you, and you know, and like you just see hate in their, you know what I mean? Like, are you really hurt, or are you just, you know?
Right. Because I got my DV.
You gotta park in the handicap spot to get your lickies and chewies, and somebody might really need that. You hopped out of that goddamn truck.
Right? At least fake a limp. Fake a fucking limp, bro.
Come on, man. One day I'm gonna need it. One day I'm gonna need it. You know what I mean? You got these assholes doing that shit, you know?
Dude, for
and
real.
They got the Army shit all over their back windows, and
dude, yes, these motherfuckers got every single goddamn. That goes back to that one story when I went to the I don't know where the fuck I was. This dude had like a whole mini stack of his whole ERB on here, and I'm just like, who the fuck are you trying to impress? His highest fucking shit was an RCOM, I think it was, and it didn't even have a fucking Oakley cluster, bro. How you gonna have a DV device at least if you want to impress me on that shit, you know? Yeah. Oh man, you about to get me started, bro. You about to get me started here with a rant.
Yeah, hey, I love your rants, man. That's, yeah. You can even ask me a couple of your am I wrongs, or
oh hell yeah. So
shit, man. I love the rants. So
what's up? What you have any MI wrongs you want to share with us?
About this thing, like when you were talking about thank you for my service, I agreed to the max, right? To the max. And then you got to the point where the taking a discount, and I was like, oh shit, is he talking about me? You know, like I do, you know, a couple times a week, and you know, they get a lot of my money. So if it's $400 or $4, it's not the, you know, I'm proud, but that's probably the only place I use it. So I'm like, damn, it's over $50. I didn't know that rule, man. I was like, man, he got me there, but yeah, I agree with you 100%. Thank you for my service, and fuck these stolen valor guys, because the quiet professionals, they don't they're cool with who they are, and they don't need to
they don't need to glorify their shit. You know, I mean, well, then you got the Navy SEALs out there that they go and write books about everything. And shit, so,
you know, when I go to interviews, or I go to, you know, I wear a suit, I got that one pin that says Army retired. Yeah. You know, I want probably a 173rd, but that's the thing with the hat. It was like, do I put, you know, Army retired, or
right?
I'm a vet.
Well, like you said, dude,
I don't know yet. Like, I want a couple things, but I don't want it to be like goddamn, like coming off my head like crazy. Like,
dude, I used to see the old timers. When I used to be a dental assistant before I joined the Army, there was this one old timer that was fucking Battle of the Bulge, 101st fucking, you know. So he had his hat with everything on that shit. I ain't gonna say nothing to him. He is, to me, that motherfucker. He earned every single one of those things. You know, handle that business. I mean, I was proud just to be in his presence. You know, it's fucking those motherfuckers are something else, man. And we're losing little by little. Meanwhile, you got over here motherfuckers that stayed the whole goddamn time on a fob, didn't go out. Yeah, these motherfuckers getting bronze stars for fucking shuffling papers. Get the fuck out of here.
Here's the story is I was chiefing that first time in Skin. I got a bronze star. As chief, shot 10,000 rounds. I went back to Skin this is a 15-month deployment. I was in Skin for 12 months, and I went to Tillman to help Russell Sanchez, that guy I talked about on the other pod. They were putting 198s, and you know, he was the E5 chief, and he shot the 119ers for 12 months, and I just went to help him, you know, with 198, so he can just get a jump on that 100 backache. You know what I mean? Like, that goddamn piece is a beast. It never breaks, but high damage shit is heavy. You gotta spin the tube on that thing and trails, and man,
dude, I never had the honor. I never had the honor of that piece. I wish I would have.
Yeah, and you know, we were in the Airborne Battalion dropping those things, and it took like the whole battery to get one off of the platform.
Oh,
The only one in the world, the only 198 Airborne Battalion.
God, please don't say that shit.
The crazy thing is, all the units that I've been in, Delta Battery, is disbanded. The 2nd and 321, 4th Brigade, 82nd is disbanded. Great unit. 1321 Warrior Battalion, the only 155 Airborne unit in the world.
Yeah.
Disbanded.
Damn.
So it's crazy. It's crazy. All these great units that I was in. But it good because those memories. I kind of wish they would live on, but
yeah, in a way, you get to be selfish and say that you were.
I was in those things.
Yes, sir. Dude, did you ever have any time in mechanized at all then, or it was all just light?
No, and I stayed away from the Paladin. It's not that I didn't want to go. At first I didn't want to go because all I wanted to do was be a paratrooper. But after I broke my back, I had already completed every job there was. So at that point, I did ACRC, and then I did knowledge management in Germany, and then I was handpicked to be the FA Master Gunner.
Fuck yeah.
And then retirement. So that was the only thing that brought me back to artillery, was that position as an E7, because I had done all the required things. And if I went back, then I'm taking somebody's job. You know what I mean?
Right.
So other than promotion, that's all I could do. That's why I retired at 20 years and 9 days, because what do I do now after the FA Master Gunner? I'm gonna step down.
You had pretty much fulfilled all your whole career block, except by having to do a TDA, like recruiting or fucking drill.
Yeah, and and I was just I was really kind of disgusted with the senior non-commissioned officers, really, especially a lot of the sergeant majors. It's like my last sergeant major, and this is Fort Stilo, first and 30th. The guy couldn't talk, man. He stuttered. He came in to brief the Master Gunner course, and everybody just looked at each other like, what the fuck did that guy just say?
What the fuck?
And you know what I mean? If you're a sergeant major and you can't talk to troops,
yeah, you're in the wrong line.
How the fuck? How did you get there? It was just craziness. You know what I mean? So it was just like, I'm seeing these guys, and I'm seeing guys that promoted 5 years after me, and I know I'm not gonna get promoted because my profile, even though I could run,
right,
and my pace was beat everybody else,
right.
But I had a doctor that says, what if you have a bad day and you fail your PT? I don't think I would ever fail my PT test, but so I had the walk and I had push-ups, and I can't do sit-ups because I have rods and screws in my back.
Yeah.
So, but
it's a shame.
But physically, you would never know that I had a broken back. Like I was hiking and biking and being physical my whole time. So I wanted to be there.
Yeah.
I could have easily med-boarded, but I wanted to be there.
Right.
And there was no reward for that other than being the FA Master Gunner, which is is a blessing, because I was affecting Army level stuff, as a Master Gunner, and it was a lot. Every day was something, and I got to help a lot of units, and anybody that wanted help, I helped them, and that's what I wanted to build the reputation of the Master Gunner division. Right.
Yeah, because we used to call y'all digital mic golfs for FDC, which I heard you say it's not a real position. But
somebody made that shit up, and I hated it. And this is why I hate it, because digital is one piece of our job.
Right.
And most of the guys that claim that digital Master Gunner shit, they can't make a radio work, man. There's these guys that fucking they claim, on the DMG, I can't talk digital. Come on, man. It used to bother me. So like, I wanted to get that name out of the.
Yeah.
Whoever made it up, whoever.
I guess, dude. I mean,
out of people. People's mentality, because that's just one piece of your job.
Right.
One tiny piece.
Makes sense. Hopefully it catches on.
Because words mean thing, and mentality on those words can, you know, oh, I'm just the digital master grader. No, bitch, you're the Mike Golf. You're the evaluator and authenticator of the commander certification program.
Right.
And you're a staff
It almost
NCO.
sounds like it's dumbing it down by just putting it.
And you're the staff NCO, and probably you're the goddamn headquarters platoon sergeant, and you got to do a lot more than say you're the digital master gunner.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that. So hey, man, I see you're a Raiders fan, huh?
You know, I'm from LA. You know, Downey. I grew up in fucking Dodgers.
Yep.
Raiders. You know, I saw Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen and whatever city they're gonna be in. You know.
See,
to me,
they're
LA.
Route. I went the wrong route, bro. Because I lived right down the street from the Coliseum. Like literally,
right.
I live. Okay, you know the street Firestone out there in Downey, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Firestone.
so that turns into fucking Manchester, where I live at.
Okay.
So Firestone. Okay, so I lived on Manchester and Broadway, which is like fucking right. I'm like down the road, maybe like 8 miles from the Coliseum, and I used to go watch the fucking Raiders play.
Yeah.
When the Raiders up and left and went back to Oakland, it broke my heart, bro. I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dog? You're leaving me with nobody? And there's no way in hell I was going to be a Rams fan. You know?
No way. Me neither.
It can't happen.
I'd hate for the Rams growing up, you know.
Oh, yeah. And then everybody from Cali, you'll know that there's no way that you're going to root for anybody from up north. So there's no way I was going to be a Niners fan or San Diego.
Hey,
it's not going to fucking happen. I'd be a traitor. So I just said, you know what? The Raiders left. I have no fucking team. I was heartbroken, so I started calling them the traitors, man. So anyways, long story short, I was without a team, and then I saw Brett Favre playing.
Yeah.
And then, bam.
It's really not their fault. It's the city's fault. Even Oakland. Like, they wanted to stay in Oakland.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't build them a new stadium. So, you know, I pissed in cleaner places in Afghanistan than in Oakland Coliseum. You know what I mean? So, hey, I would want a new stadium too. You know what I mean? Oakland Coliseum is, man, that place is rough, guy.
Oakland is rough, man. Shit. But now
that place is rough. So, so, and the same thing, they didn't want to share with USC because USC had that dynasty at the time and they were kind of overshadowing. And so they wanted their own home, and both cities fucked them over. Now,
so how long you think they're going to be?
Vegas builds them a stadium, and it's badass. And
how long do you think they're going to be there before they leave?
It's a stadium thing, you know. These guys, now it's like, you know, it's the uniform, it's the new stadium, it's the new locker room, gym.
Right.
Like whatever you provide, that's what the team wants. The heritage thing, kind of going away. Other than Dodger Stadium, it's a classic ballpark. Never probably going to change. They'll just add seats or whatever. So, and thank God, because like places like that and Fenway Park and I don't even think the Yankees should have left. But some of those classic stadiums need to stay. Because it's history, but you know, it takes a lot to run them old places too.
Yeah, it does. I love Dodger Stadium. I love going there.
It's beautiful.
It is. And you can see downtown LA from there. It's just fucking awesome.
Hollywood sign.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody has a big fucking a different ID.
My dog is named Dodger. You know,
oh, really?
I'm through and through a Dodger fan.
Hell yeah, dude. Another thing
Dodgers, USC, Lakers, Raiders.
I stopped watching basketball, bro. And this goes way back to the 1990s. We're about the same age. So it was when Jordan and the Bulls beat the Lakers. And that's back when Magic was still there. And once that happened, dude, I was like, I'm done. I'm done with fucking basketball. Never watched it again. And then I decided I'm not going to become one of those bandwagon jumpers. So if anything, I'll go ahead and start, following the Clippers if I follow basketball again.
Yeah.
Which I doubt. I'd rather watch hockey. Hockey's a good fucking sport to watch if you ain't watched it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm never ever gonna live in California again. So I mean, but my teams are still there. You know, I guess I'm here stuck in Texas because my wife is not leaving Fort Worth at all.
Would you want to go back to LA, dog? Have you seen how much houses cost out there?
Not at all. My brother just 2 years ago bought a house $600,000. Had to put $60,000 in to make it livable.
Wow.
Put 20,000 into the pool to make it work again, and then part of his house, 300 square foot, is not permitted. So his neighbor could be like, tear down that part, and now you don't have an 1,800 square foot house, you have a 1,500 square foot house, and you just paid $850,000.
The house I grew up in South Central. We're talking about the fucking hood. All right. Fucking my parents I think bought it for like 60 back in 1984. They bought it for like 60 or 70,000. That motherfucker sold in 2005 for almost 250. All right. And now this is back in 2005 in South Central LA. Now they're going for like 300,000. Dude, I bought my house here in San Antonio, bro. San Antonio. I will never leave Texas.
Right.
Because I bought it for a decent price. Let's just say, what I would buy a nasty, raggedy house in South Central or Compton, I bought myself a nice looking house out here in San Antonio.
That's how I told my brother he could buy 3 houses.
Yes.
And
and nice houses, dude.
Yeah. And this is my 4th house. I still have a house in Oklahoma that I'm renting, but this is the 4th house I purchased. Because I would never rent. And would never rent. So
yeah,
I sold 2 houses, but I got 2 right now, and really property is what I want to do, because those rental incomes are gonna be good at the end of my towards the end of my old as I get older. And
well, yeah. So you bought like these properties are in a military's area then?
Yeah. So I was using BH to pay for these places, and now that I'm retired, I have one in Oklahoma, and a lieutenant colonel's renting it, and
hell yeah, dude,
paying the bills. So, so it's good, man, and eventually, it's going to be a big income for me, and I want to have I would like to have like 7 or 8.
Fuck yeah.
8 4 houses. Yeah. But I'm going to get there.
All in due
That's
time.
My plan. As long as I keep breathing oxygen.
Dude, you're in your 40s, right? Are you even 40 yet?
I'm 39. I'll be 40 in July here.
Look at that. You're not even 40 fucking years old, retired already. You have homes. You are fucking on top of the fucking world right now, man. That is what's up.
It wasn't easy.
Of course not.
But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed everything, and I would do it all over again. I would break my back all again. All that shit. I would trade the people I killed to have some of my friends back. They're tattooed on my arm. Some of my friends, and the ones that are missing limbs, man.
Yeah.
I had a buddy. He's a double amputee. I went to see him because one of my other friends was SF, and we were in 2 units together. And in 82nd when I first came in, and then Delta Battery 173rd, and then he went SF. And he got shot in the head and passed away. So I went to his funeral in Arlington, and while I was there, I went to Walter Reed. And then, if you ever want to be humbled, go to Walter Reed, where the amputees are, and watch those guys work out.
Yeah.
If you think you're having a bad day and need some motivation, you watch these guys learn how to walk again and get stronger. And that was probably one of the most humbling experience I've ever had. But I would trade it for them guys to have their, legs and arms. I know of a quad amputee, one of the 5 quad amputees living. It's just not. And this dude's, Travis Mills. He bought the Estee Lauder Ranch, and does stuff for Wounded Warriors. And these guys you're talking about heroes, man. Shit. That's something,
dude.
To go through all that madness and still
be
faith
there
in life. And
yeah, dude. Wow, that that's really a great point right there. For some of us, we have a bad day. For them, it's a bad life from that point forward. They don't look at it.
They're forever. No, they're not the same forever. And a lot of these guys that with PTSD, they're not the same forever. But there's physically hurt, in a wheelchair forever, or walking with prosthetics, or, and the shit is crazy. The shit that prosthetics can do these days.
Yeah.
My buddy that's WMT, he got different pairs of legs that like did different things, and you hit a button and it would walk upstairs and like crazy ass shit that, you know, but it's a lot better than, you know, like for Vietnam that's, you know, that had, you know, wooden.
Right.
Like I felt, you know, like, but I would never want that for anybody,
Of course
you
not.
know?
Yeah, of course not.
Because it's
But I
not the
mean,
same.
but you know, at the same time, these people they have the mental ability to fucking, their mental is fucking pushing them through that physical. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Absolutely.
fucking
Absolutely.
awesome.
They got the right mind, and yeah, like that shit. It kind of changed my life because I was like, I'm watching these guys climb ropes and they got no legs, and they're you know, I watched my buddy. He took his first steps, and they were with the short legs because you gotta kind of work your way up.
Okay,
And I watched him take his first steps, and
that's fucking
that
bad.
is really, really, you know, you could do anything that you put your mind to, and that's the mentality you gotta have. He's still alive. He's gonna do everything he wants to do, you know?
You know, it came full circle on it that you did everything you achieved out to go do, you know, whatever you put your mind to, you achieved it, you know, and it comes all the way down to these folks who are physically fucking impaired, but they don't let that impairment or that disability fucking stop them from achieving what they want to achieve, and they're achieving it too, man. It's fucking awesome. This is great. It's been a great fucking story, dude. I loved it. And I want to have you back on here again, you know, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I love it. And like I said, the first one, I listened to the first one after hearing Patrick's first one, and I was like, I don't think he knows what he's doing. And then the second one, you told the shit story, and man, I tell you, I almost crashed my car. I was dying laughing. And these are the moments that are, you know. And then you had another one with the shit story from Hunt,
Oh yeah,
shitting out of the back of the Humvee because, you know, on a long ass drive.
yeah.
You know, hey, these are I don't know. Artillerymen are crazy. You know?
So for those that don't know about the shit story, that was on my second fucking episode. I had no idea where I was going with this shit. But all right, so here's what happened. All right. So it was early one morning. We had just gotten up. I was chiefing on Gun 7, and I was hungry as fuck. And we had those nasty ass MREs called the omelet. All right, the omelet MRE. We had been out in the field for quite some time already. FTC sends out a fucking move order. So we get the move order. I plug it in, and I fucking just swallow up my fucking MRE, dude. As we're rolling, I started getting the bubble guts. You know what I'm saying? You're bouncing in that cupola, and my shit's just like bubbling. I'm like, oh man, this shit is not fucking feeling good, dog. And I'm just looking at the goose egg, like, okay, we got to get in that goose egg already, man. I got to shit. So we get into our fucking Papa Alpha, into our platoon area, right? And as we start fucking, dude, I've never occupied so quick in my fucking life, dog. I'll talk about, we got in there, I just started fucking moving my tube left, right, up, down, submitting my fucking P status, and I just kicked everybody the fuck out. Like, everybody, get the fuck out of the gun. Because while I was laying, I was also looking to the wood lines to see where I can go take a shit. You know what I'm saying? But each direction that I looked at, I bullshit you not, it was like 100 yards to the left, 100 yards to the right, and then the fucking tank trail in front of us, nothing in the back. I'm like, I got a fucking shit, dude. I ain't got no time to make it. So I kick everybody out the motherfucking gun, dude. All right. So everybody gets the fuck out. They're like, what the hell's going on? Chief just kicked everybody out. I didn't know what to shit in. I had either the fucking drip pan that I could shit in. I could look for a bag, or the swab bucket. The swab bucket was right fucking there, dog. So I grabbed that swab bucket, baby. I pulled out the fucking swab, and I just started hovering like, oh, dude. I'm talking about, it was like a river just fucking flowing out of my ass, just, and it's splashing. And anyway, so my section's outside, and I lock the door on the back hatch on the Paladin, and I hear the LT walking up, you know, getting ready to do his position checks, right? So he's like out there with his dad, like, hey, what are you guys doing out here? What are y'all doing? And hey, Sergeant Rodriguez, man, Puerto Rican cat. He's like, what, Chief just kicked us out. Chief told us to get out. And I'm like, sir, don't come in here. Poor Lieutenant Man, bro. Lieutenant Man's face was hard. So anyways, I'm like, sir, you don't want to come in here. Don't come in here. And I'm talking about the smell, brother. the smell was fucking horrific. But I'm just hovering over the fucking swab bucket, just doing my business. I see the fucking handle open. He starts opening the hatch, bro. I'm like, sir, don't come in. Don't do that. He's like, what's going on here, chief? And I told you, dude, he had this fucking face that just turned green. He's white as fuck. Turns green, closes the hatch, bro. And I'm like, whatever, sir, I told you. So I finished taking my shit. And I thought it was all over there, right? Fuck no. He goes back to the fucking, to Smoke. Tell Smoke what just happened. We're all laughing by this time, me and the gun. And fucking Smoke just gets on the fucking net. Gun 7.
Blast.
Lopez, did you just take a shit in your swab bucket in the gun? Like, god damn, dude. So yeah, that was my infamous fucking shit story, dog. And honestly, I don't remember if I emptied out the swab bucket afterwards.
I was going to ask you what happened to the swab bucket.
Dude, come to think of it, I don't remember, bro.
You had no missions after?
I'm sure we had some missions come down afterwards.
Oh,
so.
man.
I think we had some shitty fire missions, bro.
Oh, hell no.
Dude, that's a good fucking... I'm going to have to ask my gunner on that one if we ended up switching it out or not. Because I'm pretty sure I had to go to have a Chiefs meeting with Smoke after that.
Yeah.
God damn.
Shit happens.
Yeah, shit really
Every
happened.
unit that I was in, well, these freaking woman niners, so there would always be a phantom shitter. And he would drop a deuce almost at every gun, like 6 deuces. Or maybe it was multiple phantom shitters.
No shit.
And I don't know, the guard never found them, or maybe it was the guard, I don't know. But they would do it right in front of the collimator. You know what I mean?
Fuck yes.
So there's always this shit. There was always these things, in artillery, or you get a new private, and Chief's like showing his nuts over the sight, so that the collimator's like just picking up the nuts. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, dude.
This is artillery. You gotta have a good time.
Dude, I remember. Yeah,
you're killing guys for a paycheck. You know what I mean? So, you gotta have a good time.
Dude, we have to have a fucked up mentality for what we do. You know what I'm saying?
It's comical. If you don't laugh at it, you probably shouldn't be there.
Oh, for real. I mean, I remember there was a dude that would fucking be just his IBA with the nut flap and nothing else, bro. Just fucking running up and down the motherfucking gun line showing his nuts.
Yeah, there's always that. And we actually had a crazy platoon leader. One gun was struggling to certify.
Yeah.
And they're getting march order the whole time, and they're tired, exhausted. It was the end of the day, so this PL wanted to spark their interest, so he ran around there while they were occupying, and luckily they passed on that.
Oh no shit!
And maybe them 13 Bravos are motivated by naked dudes, but I don't know, but it worked.
You probably, dude. Oh man, you don't know nowadays. Hey, somebody might get offended with that type of shit down in this new army, bro. Fucking
yeah. It. And then that with females in artillery, now you probably can't do that. Put your nuts in front of the collimator and watch.
Yeah.
Brand new privates looking through and like, I don't see the sight. You just see a hairy nuts.
Now, if the female chief would go and show her titties onto the collimator side, I'd be okay with that.
That might motivate the section.
Right?
Not to in place, but to cop a fill.
Okay. Dude, that's been great. I've had a great time here with you. But you know what? I'm going to end it with a quick question for you, man. Since Juarez likes to ask questions, I'm going to ask you my question. And I'm probably wrong on this, but we're talking about it, the midweek memo. I don't know if you've heard it yet. It's about these Cold War vets, man.
War vets, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you heard the midweek memo, but I've been seeing an uprise on Cold War veteran hats that, they used to just say Army veteran or Marine veteran or just U.S. veteran, but now they're starting to put Cold War veteran.
Yeah.
I mean, is that really a status to be kind of proud of, that you served during a time of no real war?
Yeah. Even the Desert Storm was kind of like a 2-week field problem.
Right.
They slaughtered Iraq, and that was it. There was not not much to it. Most of the casualties were accidents, and
Right.
so yeah, Cold War. The Cold War is never stopping. Even now, in Germany, they're doing exercises with all kinds of countries. That's what I was doing when I was in Nusra, and to deter Russian aggression. To stop them from taking more land in Ukraine, and
Yeah.
but yeah, so instead of nuclear arm race and my dick's bigger than yours,
Right.
it's exercises going on in Europe, and so I mean, if you're proud of that, I mean, I don't think the Cold War ever ended.
Right.
The two powers and democracy and communism is going to be forever a Cold War.
Yeah.
It's just not named that anymore.
I just
The
don't
fall
think
of the Berlin Wall was, I guess, the end of it. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
I guess my question is, should they be putting that on their hats?
No.
Shouldn't they just leave it Army vet, or are they just trying to jump on the bandwagon of something that has war in it to make them feel more special?
Yeah, I mean, if they were in the Army 3 years during that time and they're proud of it, good for them. But I mean, they ain't gonna get me to buy them a beer. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Well, Kowalczyk and I came to the Kowalczyk mainly was saying that they're just basically saying, "Don't buy me a beer. I didn't do shit during my whole time."
I wouldn't do it. I'd talk about them later or make fun of them there. But yeah, it's
Man.
it's not. I don't know. If you served, then you should be proud of it. But
be proud of it.
But other guys that have done some things are probably gonna make fun of you. Just be aware of that. Yeah.
There you go. I like that. Be ready to be shit on because you are wearing a Cold War vet hat. All right.
And don't get mad because people shit on you, because this is the mentality that we do.
Exactly.
If you can't take it, you shouldn't have been in the Army.
Exactly.
You're gonna talk shit. Me and Juarez, we went back and forth. We're best friends.
Yeah.
And that's the type of thing is brothers are gonna do that, and people that if they don't like you, they won't do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's the thing, and you got to be able to handle it. I mean, because
yep, that's the way I look at it, especially with this on the gun line. One thing I said was like, if you're able to talk shit, you better be able to take it too. You know what I mean? You can't just dish it without fucking being able to take it too.
And you brought up another system real quick about cadences, and I know Miller. What's up, Miller? If you're hearing this,
FTC Miller.
We talk about cadences and people the way we talk, and the Army I grew up in made you think that you were gonna make another person die for their country, and
yes.
And that mentality and the baby seals and all the cadences and kill and blood blood makes the grass go greener. All that mentality made you dumb to when it's gonna happen. When bad shit's gonna happen.
It normalized it for us.
Yeah, it normalized it because you need that, because bad. In Afghanistan, we got female care packages. There's no females on the gun line. There's no females on the SF team.
Right.
None on the radar at that time. And we would take the tampons to fill bullet wounds.
Exactly.
Because this is, you got to save and take lives, and this is the mentality. And if you can't hear like words or that bothers people, you're in the wrong field. But it's not for everybody. And,
exactly.
And I think you were completely right. I don't think there's anything that you've am I wrong segments that I didn't agree with.
Right on.
Yeah.
Great minds think alike. That's why, baby.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Any shout outs you want to give up before we end this piece, brother?
Shout out to you for having me on here. I know you didn't know me. We kind of came from the same area and did the same Army life.
Yes, sir.
Being an artillery brother. So thank you for having me on.
Thank you for
being here. Your podcast. I love it. I've listened to it twice now. I'm driving around door dashing and I laugh and I get hyped up when you go on your rants, and I talk to myself a little bit sometimes for this moment, for when I can talk and share my 2 cents. And
Sure.
and a shout out to my brother Wires. I love that guy. He was there for me when I was going through a situation, and I wish I could return it. He's kind of a quiet person when he going through some things, and he kind of takes himself off Facebook, and I'll try to text him, and anything I could do for that guy, I would, because he was there for me.
All right.
Like a brother should be. And so shout out to him and his thing, and I hope his and yours thing grows up. And I just saw I've only been listening, but I just saw your shirts, and I'm gonna get on there and give me a couple On the Gun Line shirts.
All right on, man. Appreciate you.
And everybody else should too. Hey, tip your DoorDash, because that's what I'm doing. And if you're a broke bitch, I understand, but
then don't be door dashing if you're
we're
broke.
out. We're out here risking ourselves, so don't be give a couple dollars.
Agree.
To the thing.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna tip a waitress. You're gonna tip your DoorDash. So.
You fucking right, bro. And you know what? They're doing you a fucking favor. So
that's right.
Putting themselves at risk out there, so that you don't have to. So you know what?
You need that dollar. Yeah.
So, hey, man, I do appreciate you for being here. We want to thank you for that. Just want to let y'all know that Siren Warriors' podcast, Under the Net, make sure y'all go ahead and pay attention to that. Go listen to it. It's similar to this with less cussing. I think that would be the way to put it.
This is all different. And yours is all different, too. Depends on who's online, who's talking.
Right.
Right?
And hey, if you guys have any questions, comments, bitches, gripes, complaints, make sure you guys go ahead and hit us up at onthegunline@gmail.com. Go ahead and put them on the Facebook, on the On the Gunline Facebook page. Comment, DMs, whatever y'all want to hear. Be ready for that midweek memo coming up with me and Kowalczyk. Still trying to figure out what the fuck we're going to talk about there. Probably some fucking drones, because I heard about drones out there and shit, taking your temperature. And with that being said, man, it's been a pleasure having you here, Frank. I appreciate you. Let's see. Do I have anything else? Nope.
I think one day you need to get a group of guys in here.
That's the plan. It was slowly getting there.
Some of these guys are like me. I could talk for days, but same as other guys. You probably running long with multiple guys. But yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. I would.
As it slows down.
What
throw a group of guys and bullshit together.
Fuck yeah, that's in the plans right now.
Yeah, have a shit talking session.
Fuck it. It would be like the greatest fucking group therapy that there would be on the gun line.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us here on the Gun Line podcast and shooting the shit with us. See y'all next time on the Gun Line. Love, peace, and hair grease. Rounds complete. Intermission. Gun Line out. Bye, motherfuckers. All right, let me stop.